welcome or welcome back to Crafts by KMW. I am so happy you are here and I hope you will enjoy this video. So today I am going to use the translucent new texture paste that I bought a couple weeks ago. I have it featured in my most recent haul video if you'd like to check that out. I even tested on there, and once I saw it I was like, oh my gosh, I had all these ideas on how to use it. It would be fantastic to make glass. So over the past few weeks I've been feverishly searching through my coloring books to find pages that had windows, mirrors, jars, bottles that I could use the texture paste on to make it look like glass. And I finally found one that I thought was really perfect. The issue that I was having was that most of the items were not clear or not obstructed. So I found this one page that I really like that has a mirror on it, but it has things going through the mirror, and that would cause me to have to go around things with the texture paste. And I thought for my first time using it, I really would like to use it on something that is not obstructed. So as you probably saw from the thumbnail, I chose this page because of the fishbowl. So in this video, I am going to cover the fishbowl in the transparent texture paste and hopefully get a really cool clear glass look. So right now I have no idea how it's going to turn out or how I'm going to do it exactly, but because you're watching this video, you know that it worked out at least partially. So I'm really excited. So let's get started. I'll be back in a minute while I rotate my camera. Okay, so I am back and ready to get started. So before I start, I just wanted to share a little bit about how I did this page and what I did on this page. So this is from Alan Roberts' The Beauty of Horror 2, Guliana's Creepatorium. I have 4 of these books and he has a couple, like 3 coming out this year. So I will probably buy some, if not all of those. I really like his books. So I wasn't really jazzed about this page as a whole. It was just the fishbowl on the page. But again, I want to see if I can make it look like glass. So I thought this was a great page because it's just an open space, non-obstructed. There's not a lot I have to go around with the texture paste. So I decided to obviously have the fishbowl sitting on a table. So then I thought, oh, it would be cool to be a tablecloth. And I found these little skulls online and I just duplicated them in my Photoshop Elements program, printed them out, ran them through my Xyron to put sticky glue on the back, and then I just cut them out and stuck them on here to make a skull tablecloth. And I thought it looked really cool. And then I had to decide what I wanted to do with the background. So I kind of thought about who would have a fish like this. And I thought maybe someone who was a little punky, gothy, different, beats to their own drummer. And I thought maybe a female, late teenager, early 20s, college kid who is just punky and fun and likes horror and weird things. So I thought pink. And then I found this great stencil that I have of this cougar or leopard print. So I did the pink with Posca pen. I've seen a lot of people just on the Facebook groups that I belong to asking about how you get really opaque backgrounds. And for me, it's Posca pen. Sometimes you have to do 2 coats, but usually you can get a really good coverage, really opaque dark, smooth background with one coat. So I would totally recommend that. Much easier than pencils because you don't have to burnish to get out the white. So really like that. I actually used up all my pink Posca, so I have to buy another one. Good reason to have to go shopping. And then I used ink with the stencil. And then for the inside, I just used a pink chalk because you'd be able to see the pink through the glass, but it'll be a little bit muted. I actually think it's a little bit too light, but I'm okay with that. And then I just took the stencil again and used a eyeshadow applicator that I had from using chalk that was black. And I just ran over the stencil with that to make it a little bit light. I don't think it looks perfect, but for me, it looks good enough. And then I colored the inside of the fishbowl in Prismacolors and mostly Brutfuners, but a few Prismacolors. So I really like how it turned out. Oh, I forgot about the water. So the water I used a gelato, and I picked a really, really light blue, and it just wasn't dark enough. It really didn't show up at all. So then I added a darker blue onto it, and it definitely does look different than this top part there. And so then it was finished at that point. And I added just a little bit of glitter gel pen on the bubbles. So now I'm ready to use the translucent texture paste. And this is Tim Holtz Ranger texture paste. This came in a set of 2 along with white. And the set was $20. So basically this jar is $10. You can definitely find cheaper texture paste on Amazon or wherever you shop, but I wasn't sure how it would work. I'd never used texture paste before, and so I wanted to go with a brand that I know is high quality. So Tim Holtz was the winner for me. The texture paste has a consistency, the transparent one has a texture like really high quality acrylic paint. So like the Liquitex, or I'm imagining even oil-based paint, which I am not familiar with because I'm not a paint artist, but it's not like pasty really. So it is much more liquidy. So when I tested it in my haul video, I used my palette knife to apply it through a stencil. But today, because I'm not using a stencil, I'm just going to use a foam brush and see how that works. So here we go. So I'm just going to apply this. And I really don't know how thick I need to get to make it look really glassy. I'm just not sure how much. So I will probably let this dry and then take a look at how it looks afterwards and kind of make a decision on whether I need to have another coat or not. I imagine you could use a palette knife, but I think because this area is so big and again, you're not using a stencil, I think it's easier with a paintbrush. And you could use a regular paintbrush. I just thought I would use a foam brush because I don't know if the paintbrush would leave marks. So I really want it to be clear, you know, and smooth. Sometimes there are little imperfections in glass, but you usually don't see like brush marks or anything. So I thought using a foam brush would be a good option. If you've used this texture paste or any texture paste with a paintbrush and it works, or if it doesn't work, I would love to know that in the comments, and I'm sure others would as well. I'd also love to know if you have the translucent texture paste, if you use it, what you've used it on, how you like it. So if this works pretty well, I think I will do that mirror page that I talked about earlier. That is also in a Beauty of Horror book. Okay, so I have a coat on. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I will come back on when it's finished and show you how it looks. So here it is dry. I don't know if you can see it perfectly. There you go. You can definitely see that it is really shiny, but you can see the brush strokes, which I'm a little disappointed in. So I'm going to do a second coat. So I definitely learned that using a brush will leave strokes. So I'm going to use my palette knife this time and smooth it on and see if this takes away those marks and leaves a nice, smooth, more glass-like surface. It's super creamy and really easy to spread with a palette knife. Really easy. Got caught there. So I guess the palette knife is going to be the way to go. Oh, my cat just jumped up and kind of moved my page. Sorry about that. It's always scary to me when I'm doing things that are wet because he likes to, come on. Okay, get down. Like walk right across it. So I don't know if I'm putting too much here. I guess again, time will tell when it dries to see how it dries. And I definitely feel like I'm using a lot of this. So I'm really gonna try to spread more of what I have out. It's not that I want to be stingy, but I don't want to use up this whole container really quickly. It's kind of expensive. I love how it looks and how it works, and how nice it is to work with, but but I don't want to use it all on like 1 or 2 projects. Okay, sorry, I'm having a little trouble getting to this side, the angle that I am using it at. Okay. It is definitely harder to work with. Sorry about that noise. My cat is mad at me that I made him get down from the table. So now he is on one of my decorative tables, knocking everything over. If any of you have a cat like mine who's a bit of a nut, I would love to hear about your trials and tribulations with your nutty cat. I feel like he knows I'm doing something where I can't get mad at him. All right, I'm just gonna turn my book so I can try to even out the bottom a little bit. I definitely don't feel very skilled using the palette knife this way. I don't know if that's just me or if I'm not using the right tool. If you use this stuff and know of a better tool that I could be using for something like this, I would absolutely love to hear about it. All right, so now I'm just trying to smooth it out. The paper is definitely a little wrinkly just from having something wet placed on it. So it's a little hard to work with because it's dipping in places. All right. I am trying to get it as smooth as I possibly can. I'm not sure if I'm succeeding at that. This is definitely hard. All right, I'm gonna stop fidgeting with it. I'm trying to make this bottom part look a little thicker. You know how it's often a little thick on the very bottom. I'm trying to get that look. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as it is now. It is not perfect. It is not totally smooth, but I'm getting a little frustrated working with it. So I'm gonna see how this works and how it looks after it dries. And then I will come back and show you what it looks like. So I'll see you soon. So here is the finished fishbowl. So I hope you can see how shiny it is. So as it was drying, I took my finger and smoothed out places where it was a little chunky or a little heavy with the texture paste. And it seemed to help a lot. I can still see a little bit of the brush strokes underneath. So next time when I do this, I will definitely not use a brush. I'm actually going to see if maybe there is a brush out there that you could use with texture paste or transparent texture paste, because it is a little different in consistency than regular texture paste. I'm going to see if I can find something, but until then, I think I will just continue to use the palette knife and just use my finger to smooth out. It's not totally smooth, but to be honest, it doesn't totally bother me. Like, especially on this picture, and I don't know if you can see some of the unevenness, some of the grooves on there. On this page, I feel like it's okay because it is a horror page, so it would follow that this crazy monster fish would be in sort of an odd looking bowl, or maybe a bowl that's not totally perfect, maybe a thrift store find. So I'm not totally upset about it. It's not exactly what I thought it would look like, but it definitely did the job. It looks nice and shiny. You can definitely tell that it is glass, or it's meant to be glass. So I'm really, overall, I'm happy with the finished product. I think I'm gonna have to continue to fiddle with and practice and improve my technique to be able to get whatever I'm using this on as smooth as I want it to be. So I guess I will just, that will just come with time. If you have any ideas or suggestions for me, please put them in the comments. I would love to see what your thoughts are and try some of your ideas. So that's the end of my first foray into using my transparent texture paste. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. And thank you to all my subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. And if you're not subscribed, please click that button to get notified of when I have new videos up. And so you have access to all my playlists and videos. Again, I do videos on general crafting, journaling, and coloring. So hopefully there's a little something for everybody. And you can also join my Facebook group and follow me on Instagram for more of the same. I post freebies on my Instagram account. Sometimes I'll put my videos up there as well. On my Facebook group, we discuss crafting, journaling, and coloring. And I will often put up thought-provoking questions to engage with and help share ideas. So I'm trying to get those two to grow, just like my channel. So every little follow and join really helps a lot if you'd like to support me. So thank you so much. Hope you have a really crafty day.